The manifestation of innovative activity through the innovation process creates the conditions for the sectoral economic development and tourism services quality improvement. To form an innovative mechanism and to implement innovative ideas, it is necessary to develop local tourism systems aimed at creating new tourist resources and products to stimulate their growth and competitiveness. In this chapter, students are expected to learn the concept of service design. Further, service design principles, innovation, and setting shall be discussed in details as applied in the tourism and hospitality industry. At the end of this chapter, the students should be able to understand the concept of service design, comprehend the challenges of service innovation and design, be familiar with the different service design principles, learn the differences among the types of service setting, explain the necessity for service process redesign, and understand how service process redesign can improve service quality and productivity. Design is a term often related to the physical structure or model of certain products that is aimed to provide more value, better efficiency, or enhanced performance of the goods. The term also applies to services, procedures, management styles, and processes with the same purpose of providing value to clients and generating higher income for the organization. With these objectives, design can be applied in all areas of the organization using symbols in communication or materials and behavior to convey specific type of service. Design is used for various purposes in the different aspects of running a business organization, such as creating standards in order to justify a premium price, introduce a new product in a highly competitive industry, discourage competitors, please the customers, streamline complex procedures, motivate employees and members of the organization, apply innovative ideas, improve efficiency, and establish the competitive advantages. There are 5 principles of design that are followed by professionals. These are founded on the idea that service design is focused on delivering quality customer experience. Holistic. Although the design is focused on the customer, the organization should not forget the idea that the environment plays a big role or influence on how well services could be delivered. A carefully planned design would consider how the different factors from the environment can enhance the service process. Co-creative. Aside from the environment, those who create service designs should also look and take into account the stakeholders who, in one way or another, may influence the design. Consider as well the impacts on how the design process can be properly communicated or delivered through the stakeholders to maximize the potential of the service design. User-centered. Service design is first and foremost created for the customers. Designs must focus on how customers expect how the products or services will be delivered. Ultimately, designs will be dictated on how customers will require the service. Forget for it has created an impact to the customers already. Sequencing. Products and services most often are delivered from a combination of interrelated actions to come out with an output which is the product or service. In order to render the best service, proper sequencing and timely delivery should be done, which may even increase the level of satisfaction of customers. These principles serve as guide in order to elevate the experience of customers. Innovation can always be available at any given time. Consequently, the principles we know today may be irrelevant tomorrow. Evidencing. Unlike tangible products and goods which can be physically scrutinized, services should somehow create a visual expectation of the product. Blueprinting is an illustration on how services are rendered. It is a plan that displays the interaction between departments, or elements, and activities as part of one entity. Some of the steps in blueprinting services are the following. Prepare a diagrammatic format of all the elements and processes of the service design. Geometric figures may be used to represent the different elements and process flow. As the process becomes more complex, the diagram may also look multifaceted and may require a larger space to render. Recognize possible decision points and conflict zones or areas where there could be possible issues and concern that may arise. Set standards in terms of allowable adjustments acceptable from the perspective of both the customer and the organization. Any photos, slides, or videos of the process can be very useful as pieces of evidence that represent contact points, encounters, or interactions. Analyze the impact of the pieces of evidence, contact points, and interactions as regards to the effect to efficiency and profitability of the organization. The Servicescape is the actual, physical environment where the act of service is performed, delivered, and consumed. It is very important because it is the area where the service team and the guest interact with each other. This is why a constant examination, especially on use areas, is very much needed. An example of the Servicescape could be the front desk of a hotel, the cabins in an airplane, the entire grounds of a theme park, or the client rooms of a day spa. All areas where there is an encounter between a guest and the service staff can be considered part of the Servicescape. Planning the Servicescape is critical as it contributes to the overall mood of a guest while he/she is actually experiencing the service. It is also significant for the employees as it affects the overall productivity of the service staff if a setting is planned properly. The concept of Servicescape is very much significant in designing the entire guest experience within the context of tourism and hospitality. It makes it easy for the owners, management team, and staff to deliver the image they would want to project to their guests. Below, this concept is highlighted into view to further emphasize its importance. Expectations. The environment largely influences guest expectations, even before the service process. This can be reflected as the guest would expect cleanliness as a primary concern in most cases. For example, if a casual dining restaurant's exterior is dirty, the guests would have a negative impression, which affects their entire experience. Independently, the ability of the restaurant team, i.e., the chefs, and the dining room team, is in no way connected to the cigarette butts outside the restaurant, but it is a must that the restaurant team takes care of it or else the guests would expect a negative experience or would not enter at all. ASEAN Green Hotel Standard. The Association of Southeast Asian Nations, ASEAN, Green Hotel Standard awards hotels with certification process that increases environment-friendly and energy conservation in the ASEAN lodging sector. 3. Mood and emotion. Another importance of the Servicescape is that it sets the mood for the guest and somehow evokes their emotion along their experience. The mix of the different elements will considerably affect the guest's mood even before he/she enters an establishment. Imagine hearing your favorite childhood cartoon theme songs on the common grounds of an amusement park. It brings you back to your childhood memories and somehow sets the mood of a happy experience even before you enter the said amusement park. Then, cartoon characters are present in real-life sizes and in other marketing collaterals of the amusement park as you enter. This gives a total boost on the experience of the guests as they enjoy their day. This is important, but what is more important is to have this image consistent. This is why it is important to orient the team and make them understand that these things are very critical for the guests. Experience staging is very important, most especially in recreation establishments. This concept includes traditional organized programs which extends to guest interactions, activities, programs, events, services, and ultimately, the venue, Servicescape, itself. Because of these, the guests feel the value of their experience. As a result, the memories created by these experiences would turn to positive expressions, such as guests deciding to commit their time for an establishment promotion, their willingness to participate in programs, their decision to accept the different risks involved in implementing the programs, and ultimately, their decision to spend their money in the establishment's offering. There are two aspects on how service settings are classified. The first classification is concerned with whom the service setting would affect. Its emphasis is to differentiate who is exposed to the design setting and is most likely influenced by the design. Based on this, the first type of organization is called self-service. Customers of this organization perform most of the transactions and activities. There is a minimal participation from the employees of this organization. Examples of this organization are online shopping, television shopping, online banking, movie, hotel, and airline bookings, and online food ordering among others. In these organizations, the service setting should be planned to provide seamless use of facilities, find the match market, and provide the desired services of the customers. The second type of organization is called remote service organization, wherein there are no customer involved in the service setting. Examples are telecommunication companies and utilities provider, power, water, etc. The service design could focus on motivating employees in order to encourage productivity, efficiency, and teamwork in the workplace. In between the two types are the organizations where both the customer and service employees are present, called interpersonal services. Most hospitality and leisure businesses are under this category, such as hotels, spas, resorts, and restaurants. In this type, service setting should consider both customer and employee welfare to maximize the quality of interaction between customers and employees. The second way of classifying service setting is through service complexity. There are organizations that are very simple, modest in composition, few pieces of equipment, and few elements, such are termed as lean. This type often provides service from one simple structure, and it is often straightforward in nature. When service setting in an organization is complicated with multiple elements and forms, it is called elaborate.